Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. His name is Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, our Lord, our Savior, and our Deliverer, the Messiah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Shai. Call Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who taught us this 100% truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And salutations, peace, blessings, and safety unto the hopeful elect, especially in these times. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatham. And Shalom, this is the brother Abiyah. And today I wanted to speak on a dream that I had last night / early this morning before I woke up. And I just pray that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai just allow the spirit to flow and allow me to elaborate this dream to the best of my ability. But it was a very, very interesting dream that I had, and I picked up a few things from it. As we know, and if you don't know, I'm gonna say it anyway through the spirit, man. We at the forefront of a very troubling time, man. Okay, as the scriptures speak about, the time of Jacob's trouble in Jeremiah 30:7. Okay, in Daniel 12, it speaks about it's gonna be a time like never before. As a matter of fact, let me get it. All right, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 12, and verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. Okay, and that same time that this scripture is speaking of is the time that we in and the time that we coming into once that the time of Jacob's trouble is in full effect. Okay, now Michael being the archangel, times is gonna be so bad to where the archangel Michael is gonna have to fight for us. It's gonna be that bad. All right, and this is not something to be taken lightly when it speaks about that. Okay, and as the apostles and elders and brothers alike go into all the time, you have to Salakia. All right, Salakia for that. But yeah, as I was saying, brothers always go into it. You can't take what the scriptures say lightly. As the scriptures speak about, the time that we're coming into is going to be a time like never before, and it's not to be compared with any other time that has ever been documented and undocumented. So we got to keep in mind, like, it's a reason why the scriptures say what they say, what it says. Okay, so not to, I'm gonna try to make this video as quick as possible and get as many details as possible from the dream. I would have did the video earlier, but Jake got to go to the plantation. I just got off work, so this is the only time I had to do it. So okay, I pretty much remember most of the dream, if not all of it, but I did write it down as soon as I woke up this morning and remembered the dream, just in case. Okay, but I was at it was a building. It was a big building. It wasn't like a skyscraper type building. It was more like a hall, more like a place for events. Okay, nice looking place. The stairs that go up and go around. Like a place. More, it was like I said, it's like a hall, and it looked kind of fancy, and it wasn't like a party going on, but it was an event going on, and it the closest thing I can relate it to is like some kind of like art event. Like something was being viewed or something was being discussed or something like that, because there was people around, standing around, it was little groups of people, maybe 2 or 3, standing around with drinks or whatever. But I was there by myself, and I was on the upper level, so it's like a real open space. Like you go up the stairs and you can see everything down the stairs. So I was on the second level, and I was standing by a window, and I was just looking out of the window. I believe I had a drink with me. I'm not exactly sure, but I believe I had a drink, and I was just looking out the window. Okay, and as I was looking out the window, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. As I was looking out the window, I kept seeing these. Now, this is what I seen in my dream, and I'm gonna explain it the best way I can with what I know. And just this is very interesting, because I think about, you know, the prophets in the past, and the way that they wrote down the scriptures and the accounts of what they saw in their visions and things like that, and they compared different things to what they knew in that time. I really understand that, because, you know, compared to what I've seen and what I know, you can only describe things based on what you've seen and what you've experienced and what you know. Okay, so what I was looking out the window, and I was looking in the sky. I kept seeing these big. The best way I can describe it is these big platform type of vessels flying through the air, and what they looked like was those military, I believe it's Navy vessels, where all of the jets and you know, where the jets, when they be on the sea and those jets be taking off of them real quick. It looked like those, but they wasn't as big, but they were big, and it looked like it had extra things on it. Like it had a bunch of like reinforcement, like type of poles. It's hard to explain, but yeah, that's what I saw. And I just kept seeing those huge vessels flying through the air. It was like maybe 4 or 5 of them, and they was just zipping through the air. Big vessels. Okay, and I also saw a bunch of military jets and a bunch of military helicopters. It was regular helicopters, and it was also those big helicopters. You know, the ones that's long, and they got the 2 propellers on them. I saw those, and it was a bunch of those just all throughout the air, and they were just flying around, but they was going in one direction. Okay, we in the building, and I'm looking out of the window. They all coming from like behind us almost, and they just all going that way. Okay. Alright, so at that point, as I'm looking at these vessels flying through the air, I'm just thinking like what the hell going on? Like, why ain't nobody noticing this? Why is nobody talking about this? So I got to asking people, like, okay, like, what's going on outside? Like, why is these vessels in the air like this? And then people started to notice, and you know, I just remember seeing Edomites, and they was taking it lightly. I don't remember seeing no Jakes, but I remember seeing Edomites. And as I was asking people, like, what's going on? Like, why is this happening? People started, you know, looking up and noticing it, but they was like looking at it as like an entertainment type of thing, you know, because they started smiling and laughing, like, oh snap, like, cool, you know. And I started to make my way outside, and as I went outside, I decided to start recording it. Okay, so I'm sitting, I'm outside at this point, and I got my phone pointed towards the sky, and I'm recording all of this. And you know, you got the Edomites around me. They just like, awesome, man, you know, cool, and whatever. And I'm just recording the whole thing. And as I'm recording, next thing you know, all of these vessels, these military vehicles, these jets, these helicopters, and those big platform type vessels that I really can't explain no better than that. They started they did a 180, and they all started to come back towards us, towards where we was. Okay, and as they was coming towards us, I forgot to mention the way that these helicopters and these vessels and jets was moving. It was like they was stalling. It was like they was waiting for something, waiting for a go. So as they was in the beginning, as they was going away from us, it's as if they was just wasting time and waiting for something. So at the point where they made the 180 and they turned back towards us, they all started coming back towards us, and they passed us. And next thing you know, I saw a bunch of big chariots. And I say big because all of these vessels and these aircrafts was low to the ground. It wasn't all the way up in the air. They was low. They was flying real low, like basically over the building that we was in. Okay, they was that low. So as those vessels came back, I saw these big chariots, and I started to think to myself, like, man, something ain't right. And I guess it was the spirit telling me, like, you know, hey, these is not the chariots of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Because as I seen those chariots, and there was a lot of them, and they was pretty big. As I'm looking at them, it's like they started to come towards us, and and as the chariots got closer, it's like it went in slow motion, and I was able to see them in detail, and it looked like something that was man-made. It looked like something that Esau came up with. And in a dream, I had the thought. In my dream, I had a random thought of Bluebeam, Project Bluebeam. Okay, so at that point, I'm like, yeah, this ain't right, man. Something about to happen. So I started to make my way back to the building. I started to run back to the building. Okay, and sure enough, these fake chariots, they started to destroy a bunch of random stuff. I seen the chariots destroying trains, people, buildings, cars and buses and things like that. Okay, so these chariots and these military vehicles, and they started to destroy stuff. Particularly those chariots. I didn't see the military like jets and helicopters destroying nothing, but I definitely saw those chariots destroying things. And as I said in my dream, I seen those chariots in detail, and I got the thought like, man, these is not the chariots of the Lord, because they looked fake. It's hard to explain. It's like I knew. It's like the Spirit just spoke to me, and I knew, like, okay, this is not the real thing. So when I ran back into the building, those helicopters, they started to let out troops, like dressed in black, military troops. And those troops is like zip lining down off of the helicopters, and they began to attack people. So as I'm running in the building, I see a woman, Edomite woman, getting jumped on by maybe two of those troops, and like they off in that area. So as I seen that, I tried to not tried, but I went left to avoid them, and I went towards the stairs. And as I ran up the staircase, I reached the platform before I reached the other stairs. Okay, and I looked to my right, and I saw a big, like, section. It was a vent. It was a big vent, though. It was like a big square vent, and the part that you put into the wall, it was popped out. It was loose. So I decided, like, because I heard troops upstairs as well where I was running. So I'm like, man, hopefully I can get into this, into this vent. So I pulled the vent off, and I got in, and I closed it back, and I closed it right on time, because as I did that, the troops start coming and running up and down the stairs, and I was just listening on the other side of the vent, and people was just getting jacked up, man. I heard the troops running all through, and people was screaming, and all right. So as I'm waiting on the other side of this vent, and I'm kind of mad that I didn't call on Yahweh Hashem outside, but I was dreaming, but I would have liked to have called on Yahweh Hashem outside in that moment. Okay, but as I'm on the other side of this vent, I'm like, man, I hope they don't like try to see if somebody in this. I hope they don't notice. So as I got in there, I got in so fast, I didn't notice that this ended up being a secret room. This ended up being some kind of like ducked off compartment for a secret room. All right, okay. So I turned around, and it was a small section, a little platform, and then it was a wall. And when you went around the corner of that wall, there was some stairs that went down. Okay, but at first I was skeptical, and I didn't move. I was listening, and I heard somebody downstairs moving around. And I believe it sounded like a toilet flush, because I got the thought of somebody's in the bathroom downstairs in this secret room. So I'm like, man, I hope whoever that is down there don't come upstairs. So as I'm continuing to listen, I heard this person's footsteps. They was rustling around down there, messing with stuff. But then I began to hear their footsteps come towards me up the stairs. And as they got closer up the stairs, I'm hiding behind the wall. And this is the end of the wall. I'm hiding behind the wall, and they coming up the stairs like this. And as they got to me, I did something. I attacked them. Like, I'm not sure if I killed them or if I just attacked them. I just remember attacking them as soon as they got up to me. I did something. I don't remember exactly what I did, but I ended up attacking them. And from that point on, I don't really remember too much more of the dream. All right, so let me go over this just to see if I missed anything. Oh yeah, it was the dude ended up being this Edomite, like an old Edomite, and he had a white lab coat on and some glasses, gray hair. He looked like like a mad scientist, a old Edomite with a lab coat on. So he was down there doing something, and the dream get real, real, for lack of better words, like skippy. And I don't remember too much more of the dream. I do remember going downstairs and tampering with whatever he was messing with, and it was like a table set up, and it was, I'm not gonna say exactly what it was because I don't know, but I believe it was like some kind of chemicals or some kind of something he was messing with, potions or something. All right, but yeah, that's pretty much the dream that I had. And, I just woke up this morning and I'm like, whoa. I'm like, at first I didn't remember it when I first woke up, but like it came back to me real quick, like within 30 seconds, because my son was crawling all over me, so that's kind of what made me wake up. But when I woke up, I didn't remember the dream at first, but it came within like 30 seconds or a minute, and I'm like, I instantly grabbed my phone and got to writing what I remembered. So I didn't have no scriptures, Salaki. I didn't have no scriptures tabbed up because none really came to mind except for the time of trouble that we coming into, and Revelation 12:12, which I can read. Because like I said, I got a few things from that, and one of those things is Esau rolling. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, speaking about Esau, Edom, all right, shall come down. The devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Okay, and that dream gave me vibes of full-on martial law, full-on, just trouble, man. Which I don't know why I was at this event. I don't know I don't even know exactly what it was, but I was there, and it was a crazy scenery. It started off, just on the second floor of this building, looking out the window. Some weird event, like an art event or something like that. I noticed these huge vessels and military vessels flying all through the air, and I'm like, what's going on? Made my way downstairs and I'm asking around. Okay, and people started to notice, but people was asleep. They not thinking about how I'm thinking, like, man, something up. They just like, oh, cool, military vehicles, like it's some kind of air show or something. And I went outside to record it, and as I'm recording, all of the vehicles all of those vessels that was, those aircrafts that was going that way, they suddenly turned around and started coming back towards us. As they came back towards us, I saw those chariots, and there was Esau's chariots. There was something that Esau has built and most likely has stored up somewhere. The scriptures speak about them wanting to be like the Most High. They want to copy everything that pertains to the scriptures, and they have their own form of the chariots. And most likely those is gonna be the vessels that they, along with their military, jets and things like that. The scriptures speak about it shall be war in heaven. Okay, and these vessels that I saw in those fake chariots, most likely they're gonna have those out there. Of course, they're not gonna come out with and tell you everything that they have, but that's just what I got from it. Esau's his pseudo vessel, pseudo chariot, martial law, extreme trouble. These troops coming. Esau coming in like a flood, and we just gonna have to trust in Yahweh outside and call on the Lord, man. And hey, the scriptures speak about like as I just read, man, the Lord shall lift up a standard against them, and that standard can be anything. All right, the Lord is going to deliver us, Lord willing, we be of the elect, man, from unfathomable situations where no matter how hard we think, no matter how hard we try to map things out in our minds of how we can get out of these situations, we gonna have to always revert back to trusting in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It's gonna be situations where you can't think of nothing, no way to get out of a situation, but the Lord is gonna provide a way, and works that's gonna blow our minds and then get us out of these situations, man. But hey, the scriptures speak about the righteous shall be scarcely saved, man. We're gonna be saved by the skin of our teeth, Lord willing, we endure, but the Lord gonna save us nonetheless. And if any brothers have any scriptures that come to mind, Baba Kasha, post them in the comment section, and let me know, you brothers' insight on what this dream may mean to you, or if you get anything from it. Feel free to let me know. But that's what I got from it. But I'm not gonna make this video too long. Lord willing, this was informative, and hey, with that, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahusha, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations, peace, blessings, and safety unto the hopeful elect. DTA Abba Babal, Soon, and Kwam Yasha Alam, and Shalom.